Hello, hello. Let me just do this. That's not what happened to me before. Okay. Wild. Anyways. Hey guys. It has been... I want to say it's been a while, but it really hasn't. It's only been 2 days. But it feels like it's been a while just because Saturday was so scuffed. For anyone who wasn't here Saturday, let me just paint you a picture of what happened, what was supposed to happen. So we were supposed to do a little Among Us stream on Saturday, so on Friday I decided to go over to Ray's house because Ray was also a part of that stream. We were going to test record just to make sure that everything was going alright, to make sure, you know, the mic was gonna work. But as we were setting up, we blew the fuse and we're not able to make sure that everything was a-okay. And so we didn't realize that the entire stream, my mic was echoing like crazy. At some points it's like really good, but other points it just sounds like I'm in a cathedral. And it did not help that Ray decided, out of all the places they could have sat down, they decided to sit down beside me, and anytime we had to unmute for a meeting, they would also unmute. Not say anything, God forbid they said anything, but they would unmute, look at me, and watch me as I spoke, and my voice echoed in both our mics. They live for chaos, you know? And honestly same, because that everything that was a mess. And then we decided to do Monster Prom in the evening, just cause. Once again, Ray said that they were gonna join, decided not to, and then like halfway into it, kept popping in to see what was happening. You could actually hear them in the background just dying of laughter. Not even because of Monster Prom, they were just reading a fanfiction right beside me. If I had face cam on, that would have been beautiful, just because they were... Oh, God. But all that aside, today I wanted to do the Myers-Briggs test, because I've been on a psychology kick. I don't know why, but I don't know. I like them, and very recently my psychology test, my Myers-Briggs test has been very flip-floppy. My apologies, people are talking upstairs. I'm not too sure if they're saying anything sensitive that I probably shouldn't speak over. But that being moved aside, yeah, my Myers-Briggs test very recently changed, which, I don't know, usually when my test changes, I do not care. I am someone who believes your personality test is meant to change, because if you just had a static test your entire life, I think that says more about you than it would someone who does change, just because I've met so many people who talk about the Myers-Briggs and like the Enneagram test, and they're like, well, I think this is my results, and if yours changes a lot, then the quiz probably wasn't accurate. Like, the fact that you're taking a psychology test, you should... I know there's like different viewpoints and stuff, but like, you should be in favor of the fact that people can change, and that, you know, depending on your situation, you could probably be less extroverted or more extroverted. I don't know, I just really find I find it really stupid when people are like, oh, your test changed, the quiz was bad, take this one instead. And it's just like, no, because like, I'll be honest, my test has changed so much throughout the years, but it's been a gradual change. Like I understand, I understand saying that the test was horrible if you go from one type to the exact opposite. Like if you go from ESTP, you go to INFJ, like, yeah, that would be concerning, and the test probably isn't accurate. But if you go from, like me, in early high school, I went from INFP, later high school, like not even a year later, I went to ENFP, which made sense because when I took the quiz the first time, I was in a situation where I didn't want to talk to anyone, and when I took the quiz again, I was in a place where I did. Yeah, it really does depend on when you take the test, because sometimes I like to try to take the quiz, and the way I did it last 2 times was I did it thinking about how I was my entire life, but then ultimately doing what I was feeling at the moment. Because even if you're someone who's like, you should take the quiz from year 0 to however old you are now, there's also the fact that as a child, if 6-year-old me, 14-year-old me, and me right now did the quiz, I know the results would be completely different. Just because one of the on the 16 Personalities website, one of the questions is, would you be okay with hurting someone if it meant getting what you wanted? I know for a fact 6-year-old me, 14-year-old me, and me right now would fight over that, because yeah, viewpoints change. And in high school, you know, I was ENFP, which made a lot of sense at the time. But then in university, it stayed the same. But last December actually, because it was a pre-recorded one, I went from ENFP to ENTJ. And, you know, 2 letters off, that was a big shock to me. But then you also got to take in, when I used to take the test, most of my results ended up around the 40-60 mark. And I could go into why it changed, because I know exactly why it did. But yeah, it's meant to change, and people who are telling you that if your test changes, the quiz was wrong, take this one, they probably just are on a different side of psychology than I am. But then very recently, in like the summertime, I retook the quiz. It changed again. And instead of ENTJ, it went to ENFJ. Again, only one letter off, and for the time that I took it, it made a lot more sense. INFP. Honestly, INFPs, a lot of people like to say that they are mistyped, which does make sense when you think about how INFPs act. Mistyping is very common for that, but yeah, it's fun, and I don't know. I just think people who are very serious about your typing need help, mental help. Literally, I once met this person. I once talked to this person who was like, for the Enneagram, was like, I don't like using this website because it gives you your results. I'd rather use this one where it gives me possible answers. And then I was like, but the one that gives you your results, you can always take again and it can change it. And they're like, I don't want a test to define me. You took the test to find out your Enneagram answers. That's already defining you. Just because you picked your last two letters, numbers, doesn't mean that you're taking it into your own hands. You still took the test. You're still letting it analyze you. The fact that I'm okay with letting the test tell me the 3 numbers instead of you picking 2 of them does not make us any different. We both took the test because we wanted to know what the test said about us. But no, they were so on this boat of, I took the test to see possibilities, but I chose my results. No, you fucking didn't. Because if you wanted to choose your own results, you wouldn't take the test. You wouldn't. But I don't know. Again, people in psychology, very different views. It was also kind of funny that they had, at the time I was ENTJ and they were INTJ, so I think that was like the biggest difference between us. Whereas I was okay with letting a test label me, but they were so on board with the fact that like, no, it's not, I chose it. But like, really, they didn't. I don't know. I think it's a little crazy how far some people will go to say that they chose their own fate while taking a quiz that was gonna give them a result. It's am I the only one who thinks that they were a little extreme, or am I just being insensitive? Because I know sometimes I can be a little bitch, but I do not think I was wrong for telling them that they were yeah. Let me move my little thing down to the corner and then we can start the quiz. I don't know, I think it's interesting, and you know, I usually do 16 personalities, but a lot of people who do MBTI fuck. A lot of people who do this on Instagram and TikTok have been recommending this one. They weren't bashing 16 personalities, they're just saying, hey, this one also exists. And you know what? Why not? Let's just see how it goes. And I'm not really gonna read what this is. I think we all basically know. I think we all basically know what this is all about. When people take these things too seriously, it's a problem. Yeah. Especially when they have a similar personality type to you, and they chose the ones that weren't yours because I don't know. I just it's interesting to see people who have similar or the exact same types as me thinking the exact opposite. Because again, if you wanted to type yourself, you wouldn't be taking the test. And if you think that you're choosing your own type and you're choosing, because literally what they told me was that when I told them, oh, I like this quiz because it tells me my results, they told me, oh, I don't like they just said they didn't like when tests gave you, like, they didn't like letting the test give you the results, but that's exactly what a fucking test does. It doesn't make sense to me, and I will always hold on to that what the fuck moment. But yeah, I'm gonna try to speed through this as fast as I can without actually speed running it, because I do want to think about this. But granted, the difficult person test was only 35 questions, and that took me a while. Right? You have to answer it honestly, it's not accurate, and they're just like, well, you shouldn't let the test define who you are. The test is literally a personality test. The point is to define characteristics. No one's saying that we're letting it define who we are. And no one is saying that just because you have 6'5'9" doesn't mean that we're making that our focal point in life. It's, yeah, people. But anyways, so you follow your gut instincts and exciting physical impulses as they come up. I would have to say, mostly me. A lot of my impulses tend to be, reckless, as we have seen with my various trips to the hospital. But I do follow my gut. In the past, I did follow my gut. Fun fact, the only letter that stayed the same throughout my MBTI quizzes has been my intuition. But as the years gone on, it went from like the 50-50 mark to like 60, all the way up to 80%. So yeah, I've been listening to my gut a lot more often. A lot of people don't like that because it's like, wow, you're gonna judge someone just because you don't like their vibe? Yes I will. Because so many times in my past, I've decided, no, I'm not gonna let my gut instinct tell me I shouldn't like someone. Because like, God, that sounds fucking psychotic. So I would let them into my life. And then they fuck me over. And then I'm like, yeah, should have listened to myself. So from now on, I kind of just do what I want. If someone doesn't vibe with me, I'm just not gonna talk to them. Because like, Jesus Christ, I'm not going through that again and again and again. Do I offer various unrelated ideas to see what potential they might suggest? I would have to say somewhat me. I like to stay on topic. I like things to be consistent. Sure, you can think outside of the box, but there's only so much outside of the box you can think of before you're on a completely different topic. And I don't know. I would rather be stumped with the things that we already know than be stumped over a abstract concept that someone thought of that we don't even know relates to the main topic. That's why you don't consider a lot of people friends. Yeah, I know. That shit hurts. We aren't doing that. I mean, yeah, you know, some people I have great vibes with, but then it's just they think that I'm closer to them than I think that we are. And just that piece of knowledge, when they learn that, drives them crazy. And then it's just like, I saw this coming. It happens with a lot of people. Did I think they were different? No. Did I think it was going to be different? Yes. So, yeah, my gut instinct in terms of people has not been wrong. So, I mean, in the past, I used to just say friend for, like, literally strangers I talked to once. But realizing how much that word impacts people, because, fun fact, if you call someone a friend, you might actually save someone's life. But it has so much impact on someone's life that I would rather just never say it at all than to give someone hope only to have them realize a year later that I still think of them as a stranger. Moving on, determine success by measurements or other objective methods such as time taken. You know, if it takes us a long time and we still fail, I think that we were pretty successful in the fact that we were able to accomplish something. But again, by defining success, I would rather have us, you know, have something be done, despite like how much fun we had, how much time we have, you know, just literal, did we actually succeed? So I am a little bit me, not exactly, but a little bit. Do I feel inclined to be responsible for and take care of others' feelings? Unfortunately, I do feel inclined to take care of people. I don't like it. It's very clear that I do not want to care for people. But it's hard when they're relying on you. And you can see that they're not... Those people who aren't manipulating you, who do generally want to rely on you, but you can't. Because then other people think they can. And it's a mess. But yes, I do feel like people rely on me a lot. And I do feel responsible for it. Do I experience a premonition? Wait, that's how you spell it? Okay. Experience premonition or foresee the distant future. Yeah. That gut instinct. Sometimes my dreams. Speaking of dreams, okay, before I say this, if anyone has water beside them, I do apologize for what I'm about to say, and if you would like to drink your water before I ruin it for you, drink it now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I had a dream. I don't know what the fuck is going on in my mind. That when I was taking a sip from my water bottle, there was a dead rat inside of it. So that was disgusting. I woke up sick to my stomach. Yeah. So I am currently afraid to hydrate, even because like the bottle was clear. I saw that there was nothing in it. I take a sip and then a fucking carcass touches my lips and it's just what the fuck. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know how we got into that because that's not a premonition. Hopefully that's not a premonition because that's disgusting. But do you notice whether the details in front of you match what you are accustomed to? Invisible rat loo? Stop. But yeah, I do notice when something is different. Will I like say something about it? Maybe not, but like, have you ever gone to your workplace, have everything be exactly the same, and then they decide to move one thing to the other side of the room? It's trippy. And yeah, I do notice it. So yeah, you know what? Exactly like me. 7. Be guided by a definition, logical deduction, or other nugget of reasoning. Yeah, would I say that it's the only thing I'm guided by? No, because again, gut instinct. If someone who is in a cop uniform after you were in an accident tells you to get into the fucking car, but something feels off about them, am I gonna get in the car? Fuck no, I'm running the other way. I don't care if I bleed out. Do I feel strongly that something is good or bad? Yeah, I do. Do I act on it? No. But I don't think that's exactly me. I feel like I tried to ignore that part. The more I talk this out, the more I'm like, you know what, that's exactly me. Because I'll be honest, I'll see like a word and I'll judge that. I judge everything. Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that one. So what does your gut say about your followers and mods? Do you really want me to say that? Do I trust you specifically? Trust is a strong thing. I don't even trust the people I call friends, so let's start there. But do I think you're a good person? Yeah. Honestly, if I had to say the first thing that I thought of, my first thought was that you are someone who likes to support others, but you're a little awkward about it, so from their perspective, it might look like you're just staring at them with anxiety. So like, you do want to support people, but it's just kind of that like, that one introverted friend who like goes to like the rock band's performance and then accidentally spills something on like one of the singers. like that kind of vibe. Like, you want to support people, you're doing your best, but you're letting your anxiety kind of take control. That's like the vibe I got from you. If anyone else wants to be judged, feel free to say hi. But anyways, I compassionately take on someone else's needs as my own. Somewhat. I do understand that other people, I do like to help people, and like, I do have a problem of taking control of people's work. Again, I want to say this again. I only use Sticks as an example just because we have a lot of overlap, and in terms of my friends, if you were to Google who the fuck Sticks is, you will get a result. But if I were to tell you something about Ray, if you were to Google them, you won't get anything because Ray uses alternate names, as do I. But like with Sticks, for a while, anytime they did something, I was like, oh, we should do this, this, and this, you know, kind of help them out, kind of like make sure that their plans worked. But very recently, I've been doing my best not to help them. With Saturdays among... I do apologize if you hear the shouting in the background. I have no clue what's happening. But with Saturdays Among Us lobby, that was meant to be Styx' lobby. As you can see, not a lot. If you were there, not a lot of people came to it. It was kind of hectic. I did tell Styx, hey, if you want, you can ask Ray, Cass, and Elliot to join. But aside from that, I did my best to stay out of it and let them work it out themselves. And, you know, potentially could I have like, you know, asked more people to like join in? Yeah, but I wanted them to be the one to be like, yo, we need more people, yo, I'm gonna look for more people. And, you know, you can't learn... Yeah, sure, I'll provide a link. You can't learn if you always rely on other people to help you out with the heavy stuff. Because... here we are. You know, if you plan on making more lobbies in the future, you can't rely on other people to invite people because it's your lobby. So it wasn't until like Friday night when like I had to dip out and there was only like 8 people left, and then Elliot dipped out, so it's like 7, 6. Then they started asking people for help. But yeah, you know, do I compassionately take on someone else's needs as my own? No. I did my best not to anyways, just because gotta let the little ones fly. But do I construct an argument to convince someone using evidence clearly in front of both of you? Somewhat me. I do try to construct evidence with what's given, but if the vibe is there, I gotta say it. Like, if someone's boyfriend gives me a bad vibe, but they don't do anything wrong, obviously, there's no evidence to physically say, yo, they're a bad person. It's just my gut instinct. But will I argue the fuck out of it? Yes. Yes, I will. Because, unfortunate, my gut is usually not wrong. Usually. Do I achieve a metamorphosis, divine insight, or powerful vision of change? I don't really understand what that means. Definitive insight. Do I ever achieve definitive insight? No. As much as I would love to get answers for things, usually by the end of it, it's more that I have to make my own decision of, yes, this is how it has to be, or yes, this is how it's not. I usually don't get a defined answer, which sucks, because I just want to make sure that my... It's like pulling the red wire or the blue wire. Like, if I have to do it, then I'm gonna do what I need to do, but I would rather much have someone be like, yo, we know for a fact 100% that the red wire is the one you need to cut. And it's just, yeah, interesting. Do I compare an experience against a storehouse of familiar experiences to find what's reliable? I do my best not to. I'm still, even though I don't give people the shadow of the doubt, like if I think they're bad, then I'll talk to them. But if someone's good, but like they're starting to give me bad vibes, then I'll try not to do that. But also, I've had it where people, you know, do that against me, and then it's the exact opposite. A lot of people need to realize that just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's going to be the same. Like, you can compare it, you definitely can compare it, but to go out and act as if it's going to be the same way, that's the difference you have to make there. But do I remain in touch with what you want for yourself, what motivates you, and what is good? I do my best to remain in touch with it, but if I'm honest, I kinda just get lost in the moment. But usually I still maintain a wave of what I want from life. Do I apply leverages to a situation to solve a problem impersonally using minimal effort? Apply leverage to a situation to solve a problem personally using minimal effort. I don't really understand what that means, if I'm being honest. Like, leverage, like using outside force to solve a situation? I'm a little dense for that question. I'm gonna skip it. Do I enjoy the thrill of action and physical experience in the present moment? Hell yeah, I like experiencing things. How can you not? It's... I also gotta realize that my, like... my, follower and subscriber thing are up here, so I can't scroll up too far, or you can't see it. Enjoy playing with random interconnections and patterns. I love doing that. It's fun. It's it's numbers. Do I recognize and usually admire a shared value, feeling, or social norms to get along? Or do I recognize and adhere to? Not really. If we have common ground, cool. But I usually don't rely on social norms or like feelings to like get along with someone. I kind of just talk to them and see if we mesh or not, because you shouldn't be changed. I know it's like you should alter yourself a little bit on the first impressions. No, and also, who the fuck is calling me? Let's ignore that. I don't know. I just feel like it's not enough. It's not enough to just get along with someone, because you're going to get to know each other if you guys do end up talking. So why lie about something? Why pretend like you have the same interests if you don't? So I don't usually adhere to those kind of things, but if we have something in common, then great, you know? So I'll say mostly. Somewhat. Mostly. Somewhat. Mostly. Yeah. Do I conceive of a comprehensive plan to maximize progress towards multiple goals at once? I try to do that. Do I fail? Yes. But do I attempt? Yes. Do I freely enjoy doing what you want for your own personal happiness? It's hard to not consider other people, but I do enjoy doing things just for myself. Concisely reference multiple frameworks at once while problem solving. No, I'm very bad at like remembering something word for word. I do try to bring up things to reference other things, but it's pretty abstract when I end up speaking it. It makes sense in my head. That's all that matters, if it makes sense, at the very least. Do I gain a profound realization from a mystical state or sudden release of emotions? Yeah. Kinda. You know, once you release your emotions and calm down a little, you get more of a clear head. It's not really a mystical state, it's just being able to ground yourself and think more clearly after what seems like forever. Do I follow steps to ensure tasks are predictable and completed correctly? Yes. Kind of. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. You engage in life's magical moments and meaningful coincidences as they happen. I do my best to. Sometimes I'm a shut-in, but I do my best to. Quickly move to take advantage of immediate options and actions. See, a lot of people think I'm impulsive. However, there is a lot of thought that goes into it. But once that thought is made, it's completely impulsive. But in this sense, it's quickly moved to take advantage of. I like to wait. I like to look at my options. I will like queue myself, like in a line, but I won't immediately jump for it. Always remain true to what you want for yourself and others. I do my best to. And if I can't, I do my best to own up to my shortcomings. I don't know, some people, I've realized in life, don't have any morals, and so when I talk about mine, they think it's a little extreme, and you know what? Sometimes it can be, but what I've found out over the years is that what I usually am called extreme for is just normal emotions, and people just aren't capable of that. Do I analyze and critique what doesn't fit with a well-defined principle? Yeah. I mean, I just talked about morals and how some people are like their lack of. So I think, yeah, mostly me. Do I review a lot of information over time to confirm what is customarily of standard? Yeah. Do I feel attracted to symbolic, archetypical, or mysterious? To the symbolic, archetypical, and mysterious. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't have to like it, but I am attracted to it. Do I instantly read visible cues to see how far you can go? Somewhat me. I know sometimes like it's very obvious that you shouldn't do something, but like what if? Because sometimes your friends are like, no, we don't want to go to the mall, but then you know, when you nudge them a little, it's like, fine, we'll go. Like, I can see your cues that you want to stay in, but you actually want to stay in, you know? Like, I'm not gonna force you don't want to, but and like when I say, fine, we'll go, it's like, you know, the fine, I guess I'll eat the pizza, like that kind of thing. Like if someone doesn't want to do something, I won't make them, but like if they're just being lazy, then I'm gonna like push for it. Keep following tangents and new ideas without limiting yourself to one. Somewhat me. I do like to have a steady stream of thought before branching out, just so that I have some kind of framework to come back to. But it's fun to explore. Did I follow a straight line of reasoning? No. Do I help make people feel comfortable by engaging in hosting and caretaking? Yeah, kind of. I don't do it often, but oh wait, I clicked on the wrong one. Oops, my bad. I don't do it often, but I do try to take care of people. I do try to like make sure people are alright. But do I do it? The thing is, like, it doesn't say do I do it on purpose or just by accident. That might be a changer for the question. Lay out methods for other people to complete tasks in time and research efficient ways. Kinda, yeah. I like to, when I don't help people, I like to help them realize what they can be doing. Like, I won't tell them the answer, but I'll tell them, hey, the answer's on this page. Like, I'm not technically telling you what to do. Readily communicate personally to all members of a group to feel unity. No, no. I try to take people aside to see how they feel about the situation, and then I'll tell the entire group what's going on. Just because, I do understand that some people aren't comfortable with letting their thoughts be known. There's a lot of times even in university, for crying out loud, where like someone would ask me to ask someone else something for them, just because they didn't want people to know that that's what they thought about it. And I've always been a loudmouth. People knew I just kind of said things just to see what would happen. Do I fine-tune a definition or concept to support a theory, perspective, or framework? I like to try to, but it's kind of hard because usually frameworks are set in stone. Sometimes there are huge ass flaws that somehow people overlooked, but yeah, I like to fine-tune it if I can. Do I evaluate what is worth believing in, and most important, to who you really are inside? Yeah. Do I weave into the current dynamic of a situation aspects of other random contacts? Do I weave into the current dynamic of a situation aspects of other random contacts? Yeah. Yeah. Not all the time, but yeah, it's kind of hard not to, because if you know that a certain way works for someone else, you might want to bring that up to someone who probably hasn't thought of that before. Do I spur into action and pull off results simply by making your presence felt? I want to say mostly me, but sometimes I feel like this is really narcissistic to say, but sometimes I'll literally just post. I won't even post a photo of myself. I'll repost something that's on Instagram, and then I'll get a message saying how, wow, this is something they really needed to see today. It's sweet and all, but it's just like I've done nothing but repost someone's stuff. Okay. Glad that I did something for you. Do I transform myself by focusing inward on a specific way you can foresee you will need to be? Oh, okay. I do understand what needs to be to happen. I do understand my flaws as a person, but some things I just won't change just because those flaws in a certain situation are the reasons why I am still active. You know, what is seen as one flaw for someone is another savior for another person, and that was worded weirdly. I wish I could have said that better, because that would have been a great ass quote. Anyways, do I fulfill the same regular work or activity every day at a comfortable pace? Somewhat. Some things have to have routine. Other things, it's just really boring if you have routine, and it can be done in literally any other way. Personally, if I didn't need routine, I wouldn't take it, because predictability is boring. Do I merge and feel intimate oneness with other people? Haha. Sometimes I feel it. Sometimes I can meet a complete stranger and feel more close to them than I have with people who know things about me. So I'm gonna say somewhat, little bit. Little bit, yeah. Do I stick to making decisions based on impersonal measures such as points earned? Huh? Do I stick to making decisions based on impersonal measures such as points earned? What? Impersonal? Impersonal. What is that? Am I stupid? Am I the only one who doesn't know what impersonal means? Impersonal, like out of body, correct? Or is that inwards? Impersonal meaning. Impersonal is not influenced by. So, stick to making decisions based on measures such as points earned, but impersonal. I'm gonna say somewhat. I don't really. I'm a little dumb right now. Continually examine if choices harmonize with imprinted beliefs. Yes. Sometimes I won't question it just because I trust the person who's telling me to do something, but I will examine a lot of things just to make sure that I feel comfortable with it. But do I take apart something to figure out the principles on which it works? I love reconstruction. I love when people just break something and like look at how and why things work the way they do. Like if you flip the coin and stick to that result. Oh yeah. Oh, is that what the points? Okay, yeah. Mostly me. I mean, we did on Instagram. We're like, I put on my story last night, a poll. I didn't tell you guys what it was, but whatever the result is what I'm gonna do. Usually my polls are split, but right now, the only people who have voted have all voted for the same thing, which I think is gonna be very interesting, and I cannot wait for you guys to see. But yeah, do I push my mental limits to complete an array of innovative achievements? Sometimes. I don't like doing it. It's kind of boring. And if you're pushing yourself too hard, then it's going to burn you out. But yeah, I like to explore. Do I point out disconception, discrepancies? Do I point out discrepancies between how things are and the way they always have been? Yeah, it's nothing big, and honestly, I can tell you, nah, I'll let you guys wait. It's nothing big. But do I point out discrepancies between how things are and the way they have always been? You know what? Yeah. Also, my music stopped. What? Why did it stop again? I think we should just stop using music from now on. The selected file or extension was not recognized by Windows. Yada yada yada. Do you want player to try to play this content? Sure. What? Did I accidentally delete those files? What's going on here? Alright, I'll have to look into that later. No, the files are still there. That's very interesting. Hold on. Differences. What? What? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm trying to fix whatever happened here. So that was spring. I'm not sure why that no longer works, huh? I was wondering why it was so quiet. Hopefully, that doesn't happen again. Keep in playlist. Apparently winter is also broken. That's stupid. Sorry, my playlist is just being dumb. Give me one moment. Winter 5s, let's put you here. No. Let's move you here. What is going on? Let's move you down here. Move you there, move you here. Save. Alright, sorry about that. But the music should be working now. Did I take something apart? Did I point out discrepancies between how things are and the way they've always been? Yeah. it's hard not to point something out when it's changed. And do I trust what emerges from brainstorming? Not really, but also yes. It really depends on the situation. And do I easily get in sync physically with people and things around you? Yes. That's also another reason why people think I get closer to them than I actually am. Just because I tend to get in sync with people. I tend to understand what they want when I don't know, it's assumptions perhaps. I can very easily tell what someone wants after spending enough time with them. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. My sex is male. Where's my mouse? I am blind. Let's move this here. My age is 20. Should I put down what my code is, or should I just say unknown for now? And let's do, how do you type your type? I don't know what my type code is. And my ID, I don't know, let's do June. And my cognitive results, yada yada yada. 8 process. Basic development and use. Receiving, delivery, da da da. This is just like information if you haven't read this before. Basically, with this one, it also gives you, I believe it gives you the, obviously the cognitive process. But yeah, basically, let's go down here. My profile. Out of 48 questions you rated earlier, tap into the yada yada. It looks like my highest two, surprisingly, are introverted sensing and extroverted sensing and introverted feeling, which are, you know, the opposite of each other, because IE and SF. Oh, you know, oh wait, F is different. Okay, never mind. Ooh, that's actually more. So would that make me? Huh. Interesting. Oh wait, what? Apparently I am ISFP now. By focusing on the strongest configurations of the cognitive process, your pattern of responses most closely matches individuals of this type. ISFP. So not only am I no longer intuitive or extroverted or dredging or thinking, I am the exact opposite. What? And this is because it's led by the dominant feeling, introverted feeling. But the thing is, it matched up perfectly with extroverted sensing. So that is, you know, that in itself is kind of, you know. But it also gave me like other results like ESFP and INFP.